A lot of people are out after relationships, but they seem to forget the greatest relationship of them all actually has nothing to do with finding another person. The greatest relationship that you can have in this life is the one that you have with yourself. A lot of people forget that. A lot of people aren't even aware of the fact that the greatest relationship that you can have in life is the one with yourself. Because yeah, you could have a partner that they see your weaknesses and all that stuff, and they might catch your blind spots, they might help you out a little bit, but at the end of the day, the most important one is the one that you have with yourself. Think about it this way: how can you love someone else if you don't love yourself? If you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see and you think yourself in a negative manner, how are you going to love someone else and you know and be a participant in a good, healthy relationship if the one that you have with yourself is shit? How does that make any sense? Make that make sense for me, please. A lot of people seem to forget that. They seem to neglect the fact that you have to take care of yourself first and put yourself first and love yourself first before you can love someone else. I might have been a bit guilty of that myself when I was in a relationship like a while back now. Um, I didn't. I thought highly of myself to an extent, but it's not like it was today. I was low on confidence, I'd say. I was getting validated for like the first time ever because of the fact that I grew up and like in school and stuff, I get made fun of. Like I got picked on, and I started to like believe those things. But today it's completely switched around and flipped around. But that's something that no person has to work on, and they have to realize themselves. But I think that would be some of the primary drivers as to why I got into that relationship like a long time ago now. The fact that I wasn't happy with myself and I thought that someone else was going to complete those things that I was insecure about and cover them up. But it doesn't work like that. If you're not whole, then what's the point? The relationship's just going to go to shit. You're not going to have a great time. And the thing is, at the end of the day too, when your partner sees those weaknesses or insecurities within you, they can also exploit them and in a way manipulate them, and cause the relationship to spiral and go in different directions that you don't want it to go in. A lot of people forget this, and this is why I'm saying the greatest relationship that you can have with yourself, the greatest relationship that you can have in this life is the one that you have with yourself. Because at the end of the day, no one can replace you. You can replace chicks, you can have different partners and everything, but at the end of the day, no one can replace you. You're the only one that matters on this planet, the only one that has to take care of themselves. I like to think about it this way too as well, because eventually a lot of us are going to find and be with a long-term partner, but at the end of the day, when we get old and stuff, one of us is going to die. And if one of us dies, you have to have a good enough relationship with yourself to carry on with life and keep going. Like, you've probably seen it before, like some couples, they grow old together and stuff and whatnot. Like, I don't know, it's probably a fantasy these days, but they grow old together and whatnot, and the other person that's still around, they die some months later because they just can't carry on, because a piece of them or whatever might be missing. Some of them have great relationships with themselves, some of them don't, and that's the reason why they die, because they feel like this other person is the person that completes them. I can understand what they mean, but if you're not solid within yourself, especially in our young age, you're gonna get manipulated, you're gonna get exploited. When you go into relationships, you're gonna get put down if you're not confident in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, and if you don't have a standard for yourself, if you don't love yourself, man, it's not gonna go well for you. So you have to take care of yourself first. You have to put yourself first. You have to develop yourself. You have to look at all your flaws, look at yourself in the mirror, accept who you are, and if there's something that you don't like, you change it, but you don't change the external. You change the internal first to change the external. It has to happen. This is for both men and women. The greatest relationship that you can have in life is the one with yourself. If you hate yourself, again, if you hate yourself, if you don't like what you're seeing in the mirror, if you wake up each and every single day, you look at yourself and you think yourself as a piece of trash, how can you be with someone else? How are they going to help you? If anything, you're just going to attract what you are, and you're going to attract the same type of person that's just like you, or even worse. You know what I mean? Why would you want to put yourself in that situation? All right, hey man, just real quick, I'm just looking around because like this scenery is really it. You know what I mean? It doesn't get much better than this. But you know, you've got to learn how to take care of yourself, put yourself first. Create boundaries for yourself. You know, things that, you know, if they're uncomfortable for you going into a relationship or anything like that, you have a boundary for it and you don't put up with it. Because imagine a person that doesn't have a great relationship with themselves or doesn't love themselves, they're always going to let things slide. It doesn't have to just be a romantic relationship. It can be a relationship with someone at work or a friend, anyone. You're going to let things slide. You're not going to put your foot down. You're not going to have a backbone in a way. I used to be like that too, no cap. I was like that too. I was a really nice guy. I would just go along with the flow. I would just let things happen, even though deep within me, I knew like this shit was wrong. It wasn't it. I wasn't supposed to do that. I wasn't supposed to move like that. So you have to, you know, just enjoy yourself and love yourself again. Look at all your flaws. Look at all the things that you don't like, and, you know, accept them and make them into strengths as well. Make them into strengths. If you're weak in an area, always turn it into a strength. But again, it's an internal job. And that's the thing that a lot of people forget. I lost my train of thought, some people over there. But anyway, what was I saying? Another thing that starts to happen when you tend to the greatest relationship that you can have, which is the one with yourself, it's the fact that you start to realize that there's a difference between being lonely and being alone. Being lonely is when people don't have a great relationship with themselves. They look to the outside to fix their problems. They look to other people to comfort them and fill them in and complete them where they lack. But when you understand that being alone is actually you being happy within yourself and having fulfillment in everything that you do by yourself, you understand that, whoa, you're complete within yourself. Nobody else can, you know, deter you from what you're doing and whatever goals and dreams you have, because you basically found yourself and you understand that it's all good. It's all good. You could share your world with somebody else, or you don't have to do it at all, and it's all good at the end of the day. That's the difference, man. That's why we see so many lonely people in today's world that don't necessarily like to be alone, because at that point they have to deal with their own thoughts. They have to deal with their own shit, and a lot of people don't like to do that. That's part of the game. It's part of developing yourself. It's part of growing. It's part of just becoming you. Why would you want to live life where, you know, you're hiding from yourself? Why hide from yourself? Why hide from all the good and bad things that are within you? Because that's what makes you you. That's something that I've really been realizing this past year and a half. It's the fact that I'm me. I have different ways of doing things. I have different ways of thinking, and I've accepted it. And that's why I'm so comfortable with myself, and I love myself so much. But again, it's all an internal job. It's something that takes a bit of work. Everything takes a bit of work. It's never going to be perfect the first time. It's another problem we have in today's day and age. Everyone wants to be perfect and do things perfect the first time, but it's not going to happen. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm telling you all the truth, man. It's an internal job. It's something that it's constant work because you're constantly evolving. But if you just keep at it and you just keep having that goal of being complete and whole all the time and loving yourself, then the greatest relationship in the world that you have with yourself will be a breeze, and it'll be something that you enjoy. Hey, that's it from me in this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.